Fun.
Z.
I was waiting for like hype from someone.
I'm hype on the video. I just wasn't hype on the voice lines. All right, guys, welcome back to Funsie. I don't usually introduce the episode, but it is Jay Millie on the mic because Ben Kinney, his Wi-Fi is absolute doo-doo caca, and he probably is not hearing what we are saying right now.
There's a good chance.
So he will be contributing, but it may be a little bit delayed. Who knows? Sajko, how's it going for you? How are you feeling?
Oh, dude, it's going right now. We're in the thick of it. Lots of cool stuff to talk about today. I have a game as semi-usual. I mean, sometimes we just run with the episode, but if we want to do this, at first I was considering I wouldn't be involved in this and you two would collaborate, but given Ben's potential for bad internet issues, I will also be a part of this.
I'm back. I'm here.
Okay.
Ben's potential.
Okay.
I heard it.
Okay.
He's hearing.
Okay. All right. So the game for today, we're going to collectively come up with a disc for each letter of the alphabet.
Oh.
So we're going to
That's
start,
pretty fun.
obviously, A through Z. We can go in, I don't know. I mean, should we just go for like collectively for each letter, or should we rotate for each letter? Will that make it more difficult in case we have internet issues and we're like, is it my turn? Or wait, is it you? Or what do you
Let's
think?
just go collectively for each letter.
Let's do it.
A to
AVR.
Okay.
Alpha.
You got A, AVR. Good enough. What do you say for, did you say B?
I haven't said B yet.
Buzz, obviously.
Banshee.
Duh, get good, bro.
Oh, that's good.
Let me write these freaking things down.
CD2. Or
Specifically
CD1.
CD2.
Destroyer.
Destroyer, obviously, for D.
Yo, we're on fire right now.
E. Ethos? Isn't that a disc?
That's a plastic,
plastic.
as far as I'm
Oh.
aware, for like TSA.
E.
Envy.
Eternal?
E.
Envy.
Envy.
Yo, you're
Eternal's
just on the
plastic,
plastic
as
train right now, dude. F.
Ether. Oh wait, did you already get E?
well. Yeah, Ether.
Yeah,
would've been
we got
good.
Envy.
Firebird.
Shout out
Firebird.
James. F, dude, I've
Firebird.
got dude, there's like the Falk, there's the Falcor.
Fireball.
Fireball.
Firebird.
Okay. G.
Gorgonzola.
The Gorgon.
The Gorgon, yeah. that's
Grackle?
what it was.
Okay. I mean, yeah, why not, dude? I'll just write down multiple. We're in it.
H2V2.
That's the lamest answer ever. But it is a legitimate answer. The Hellfire?
Oh, Hellfire.
I've never even thrown that in my life.
Super overstable.
Just pulled that out of the deepest recesses of my noggin.
What else
I.
is H? I feel like H is hard.
No, we came up with two. What do you mean?
True. Okay, I.
Invictus? Remember when Ricky Wysocki was throwing the Invictus and no one else
Yeah.
ever threw it?
Yeah.
And
Invictus.
Invictus. Okay.
I can't think of any other ones.
All right, we can go on to J. Why not? Oh, we
J.
just literally said a
Ooh.
disc that. Yeah, the J. I heard that is the old MD3 mold. Is that true?
No.
Really?
Because they have mid-disc 3 Innova.
Yeah, right.
They have the old MD3 mode.
I forgot where.
It's
I
definitely
forgot
not.
where I heard that, but I heard it on a podcast recently that they said that.
Wow.
This isn't like the other day when I said the trail
is
is
a
a
Funsie
smaller
facts.
version of Simon's disc, because that one I know is true. This one I was like, I think I heard that, but I don't know. I just wanted to know like what you guys thought about the MD3 thing. But anyways, okay, moving on.
I don't think I've ever thrown a J, so I don't really know.
They're
I've
nice.
thrown
Me
an
neither.
MB3.
I mean, you've thrown a straight to kind of overstable mid. Yeah, exactly. It's really
True.
just flies like an MD3.
All the same.
Yeah. K for Kyle
Ooh.
Klein.
Kratos.
That's a good one.
Are there any other
What if
ones?
we can't do two of the
Leopard.
same? We can't do two of the same company 2 times in a row.
Oh,
Is that good?
yeah. Yeah, I feel like there should be stipulations or something, so we have to strategize.
I mean, we can just go in from here since we're all good right now. Like, everyone has their connection. We can, since you got Kratos, like, Ben, you can go next for L if you would like.
Leopard.
Oh,
So you're M, Sajko? Oh, that's
dude,
so
I'm gonna go for Mantis
Ooh.
Okay.
I used to have one in the bag.
MD1,
because I saw
MD.
Paul Uliberry shredding with it.
M4, M3, MX1, MX2.
All the M's. Yo, what you got? What you got for N? The Namba.
For some reason, I want to say
Oh,
a
me?
Nexus Firefly, but Nexus is a plastic, isn't it?
Yeah, you're on the
Yes.
plastic.
Nebula. Nebula.
Ooh, yeah.
What else is there?
Orc.
Nah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's already on
Orc is
O.
good.
That's fine though.
Oh, he's on O.
Oh, dude. P.
Fine.
The Plumbus.
Is that a disc?
No, that's not a real disc. The first one
I
that
have
comes to
an
my head
OG
is
one.
Pig, but that's also Innova because Ben just said Orc. So the Pipeline I know is like
Ooh.
a popular.
I was gonna say Panther.
Yeah, but if
That's
we're
also
following the
Innova.
random rules that we keep setting out as we go through the alphabet, I don't think we couldn't have used that. We were cruising too fast.
Oh, are you serious? Do I have Q?
Good luck.
Isn't
Wait,
QLS
is there
QLS for
a
Millennium
disc
or
maybe?
something?
I don't know
I
if there's QLS, but there's another. Here's a hint. There's another Millennium mold that
There's a
starts with a
Quake.
Q.
Oh, Ben. Wait, let me just check if QLS is a disc.
Yeah, the Quasar. That too. It's like their
Ooh.
Quasar.
boss mold, I think.
Oh, is it like OLS? They have some disc that's like something LS, right?
Yeah, it's it's a couple different iterations, but I've never thrown one.
No. Oh, the plastic is called. It's a JLS, but the plastic is Quantum.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Is it? It says QJLS. I don't know. We'll go with Quake.
The mystery rages on.
Quake is a good one. Yeah, comment down below if you know about the QLS or QJLS from Millennium.
Ben, do you have an R mold?
Rat.
Rhino. I didn't really hear the rules, so I'm hoping I'm following.
Rhino's
and then
fine.
Also,
you're good.
With
You're good.
Millennium.
Also,
I
have
mean,
you guys ever
it's like
thought?
it's just loosely following it. It seems like at this point.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought like how random like our eyebrows are?
Ben, are you good? might be concerned. What makes you think about our eyebrows currently?
Like we just grow hair on our forehead in a perfect spot. Eyebrows, man.
Dude, that hair on my eyebrows saves my eyeballs from sweat. Otherwise, because like just being bald, it just falls down my head. Eyebrows, big bushy eyebrows, save my life.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
shout
my
out
eyes would
eyebrows.
Shout out eyebrows.
burn. Should I just save those too?
Yeah.
No, why not?
Go
I would straight up
fully
look like an
bald.
egg.
That'd be crazy.
Let's do it. All right, S. My brain went automatically to Sexton. I don't know. I'm sure there's a ton. Just one like surf. I don't know why my brain is just on DGA right now. Like I don't throw any DGA in my bag.
You should do the Surge SS, and then you have a bunch of
Ooh.
S's.
Yo, that's good.
Or the triple S.
Yo, this guy's kind of filthy.
But that's plastic.
Boom. On to T.
T. Toro.
Do you know anyone that throws the Toro? And this is not
No.
me knocking the Toro. It's just like I put it in my hand and
Calvin.
it feels good. I don't see anyone that throws it.
I don't know a single person who would pick a Toro over a Zone.
Yeah, is there any reason? Like, do they fly any
I
different?
have
Or is
color
it
glow
like
toros, but I haven't used them.
it's like
Yeah, do you throw them? That's the question.
because people kind of like compare the A5 in the zone, but the A5 is for sure like much straighter and like more shallow. So I guess it's
Yeah.
something like that. But the Toro, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, people are buying it.
I've tried it out.
Well, that's what I don't understand about Prodigy. Why is the A5 the zone? Shouldn't it be like the
It's
A1?
not. It's no. I don't know anyone that
Okay,
throws the A1.
A3
It's the A2 with
maybe?
a massive bead on it. A3 is like a
A2
gator.
So overstable.
Well, I'm just saying no, like naming wise. Like I feel like A5 seems like too high in the Prodigy lineup. Like when you get the F5, that's pretty flippy.
They're not.
Am I
They're not
right?
as
Yeah, I see
overstable
what
as you
you're
think
saying.
they are. They like hold a line.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'm just
So,
comparing
which-
them to zone without knowing how they are.
I feel like that's
Anywho.
kind of the potential problem if there was one for that type of naming scheme, and we're kind of seeing that with like Discmania right now, where they had like all of the what were they called? Like the stuff that was Latitude made. I'm blanking on that line. You know, it had like
Astronaut? Or like the
Originals?
active line?
no, not the active line. The ones that they are now
Originals.
integrating into their originals. So like they had the Tactic, they had they
And
got
now
rid
it's
of the
called
mutant.
the MD2X or what? The method's the MD2X or whatever.
Yeah, so they're like slowly trying to put those into their originals line, but because they have the like stability numbers rating, I'm sure they're kind of like, oh, how do we make this work? We already have an MD3, but this is more stable. So, yeah, you're saying like M3X or MD3X?
MD2X.
I kind of think I understand why Prodigy did it the way they did it, because their A line is specifically approach, and
Yeah.
so for an approach disc, you usually don't want something like super flippy.
Mhm.
But their PA line is where you start getting into the flippier stuff. So like a PA5 is like I feel like it starts with the A, and that's where it's like more stable, and then it goes to PA, and that's where it's more understable. And so I feel like if you combine those two lines, which you don't really do because they're different letters, that's where they have the complete like putt and approach lineup is with those two letters.
No, I see what you're saying. I'm just talking about the discrepancy about like, okay, this is the dedicated mold that came out down the line where it's like, oh, the A5. And like the A5, I guess for anyone that knows this, like Prodigy recently stopped producing the A4, which was this like whistly. It always whistled when you saw it or like through it, and
That's
it was
crazy.
like it would flip, like very flippy approach disc, like very unique. It's hard to describe. Like it had so much flip to it, but it would almost reliably like always come out of it. It was super cool, and like I owned one, lost it, think about it every day. I cry.
The what?
But like what do you do now,
A4.
right? Because like if they're no longer making that, you just have this like weird gap that's
Yeah.
there, and you're like, do we put something else here that's like, because what would be between like a gator
The
type disc
feedback.
and like in the approach? oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Kevin Jones' old approach disc, but anyways, yeah, we'll move on from that.
Yeah, I feel like something that both brands did is like when they started, it was like such a good idea to have it set up like that. It was like, oh, if we do a lower number, it's more stable, and then it's like distance driver is D, and you know, like it was a really good idea. But then at some point they started doing these one-offs, and in isolation, it's like, oh yeah, let's give Kevin Jones his own lineup, and they have like these cool names that are associated with him. It's like, okay, that's cool in isolation, but you've already tried to like step outside of this like naming scheme before. So now it's just super messy because you've already done this like 4 or 5 times. So like if you only did it once, it's like, okay, you only made the exception for Kevin Jones and his lineup, and then everything else like is good. Then it's like, okay, but when you start doing that 4 or 5 times, it's like, oh gosh, now I'm just really confused with what's going on, you know?
Right. Yeah, they also had like Kale Visca, and
Yeah.
Isaac ended up coming out with his mid-range.
Archive.
So, yeah, it is funny how like the feedback is now a stock mold. And I'm sure they're going to take the others that were creator molds and try to integrate them into their lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But us talking about this actually made me think, which player has the best like custom discs that they come up with? Everyone talks about James Conrad, and like his lineup of discs that he's come up with are like I'm not really, it's a pretty popular opinion, but like they're really good. And my vote would probably be for him. But did you guys
Nomad,
have potentially
Trail, and Detour? Is there another one?
Detour, and then the Zenith, the distance driver?
Oh yes,
I threw one that was like neutral, and then I found one the other day on the course, and I threw it, and it's a beef dog. So I don't really have a good feel for the disc or like what it's like.
Yeah, I feel like Bodanza was talking about this in one of his videos. I feel like the popular opinion's definitely James's line. I feel like I would lean towards James's line, but
yeah, me too.
The more I can't
think of anyone else.
Well, there's like the AB like Sagata that came out that is, I don't know if people are still hyped about that disc or really where it lies.
My friend Anderson throws the Sagara all the time. So
oh yeah,
I hear about it all the time. I don't know about the public opinion, but Anderson loves the Sagata.
That's cool. No, that's sick. All right.
Eric McCabe has a few discs. He has the Judge and the Truth. I don't know if he has like a distance driver or anything.
That's a good one. Ooh.
I mean, Paul Macbeth has a whole lineup. Simon line as well.
Is there? Do you guys have like a favorite of like the Paul Macbeth discs? Because I don't know. I don't know if I do, honestly. Like, I like the idea of the Onyx, but I don't throw it ever.
I threw the Onyx for the first time the other day, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
So I might pick that one because it's the Hades, the Zeus, the Onyx, the Malta, the Luna, and the Athena. I might go Athena. The Athena's really good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Does anyone else? Ricky has a line with like multiple manufacturers, so.
Yeah, it's such a good point. Yeah, like the Saki Bomb Slammer was such a. I don't know. Like we were talking about the Toro. That especially, I feel like, is one that I never see anyone. I never saw anyone like really throwing. And like I remember I owned one and I was like, that's cool. But then like it just didn't like end up in my bag, or I didn't do anything with it past that.
Yeah. And then now he has his proto putter, which I've heard he doesn't actually like, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is weird to have a putter that's custom made for you and you don't end up liking it, because don't you get? I would imagine that you get say on what is happening throughout that process, and then you probably give the final
okay. They, like, already had it or something, and then
I was about to say, right. I don't think most times, I don't know, because it's just so much money to mold a disc and everything. Like most times, like I guess you get your say, but most times I feel like you don't. It's kind of like, hey, like we're making this putter, and then you kind of like. On the first try, because molds are like what, like $30,000? I don't know, like something crazy. Where it's just like I know a few pros where it's like they tweaked it, didn't come around, tweaked it again, and then the third time it was like the company was kind of like, okay, like kind of gotta stick to this one, or else we're gonna just like keep. But yeah, for Ricky, I think he just. He told me it's a little too stable. So it's not like he didn't like the feel or anything. It's just he's more of a pushy glide putter. So
yeah, for sure.
I think that, and I think a lot of the reason too is like these pros do like the discs at first, and use them, and then it's just like eventually it's like I don't know. It's like after they used them for a while, and that's probably what happened with Rick. It was just like he kept using them. He's like, oh, these are really nice. And he didn't realize it at first how stable they were. And then as he's like on a tournament course, like 40 feet away, and then it's like, oh, wait, I'm not getting to the basket as like well as I should, or something like that. So that's how it most of the time works.
No, it makes sense. I mean, it felt so last second for Rick joining Discraft. Like, I don't imagine it was probably like a rushed process where they're like, hey, we got this, and it's like, okay, yeah, let's run with it. But yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about like,
dude,
you don't have any reps in with it yet, and then over time you probably come up with a better opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm intrigued by it. Like, I understand at that level that, like, if you can't make it work, you need to do what makes it work so you perform better in tournaments. But I'm almost like, I would make it work, you know? I would change how I putt or something to putt with my putter that is my signature disc. Like, that's just my opinion.
Well, the thing is,
I don't know.
For Rick, it's like his proto putter, so like he's kind of in the clear there. Where it was just like, it was never released as like a stock disc, so it was just like,
No, yeah,
it was a
and like
test.
maybe they'll release it once they figure it out, and then he'll really.
That's
push
what I'm
it.
saying. I think they'll probably, since that was its first, but I think I like when manufacturers, like, it's smart, like, to release the protos, because like they get their money back.
I
and
think
then
it's really
some,
smart.
and then they can tweak it. They can tweak it to their.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy to me is Isaac doesn't even putt with peaks.
Wait. Wait. Oh, really?
That's what someone told me recently. Is he putts with crowns from Westside?
Oh, okay. Well, that's that. You know, shout out to Crowns, because that's actually a good putting putter.
But the reason I brought up the Ricky thing was because, like, I've heard recently just a few people like having a signature disc like that, and then just like straight up not even using it. It's just a little crazy to me. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not obviously at that point in my game where I'm that good and those things matter.
Yeah, right.
So I really don't have a good perspective, because, like, once, you know, if I ever get to that point, I might be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like, those really, really small things matter that much. But I'm like, if I'm that good, I'm sure I could make my signature disc work. But, you know, who knows?
Yeah. I don't know if I have any more thoughts to contribute to that, but I think it was a good side tangent.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Dude, we left off. Okay. T for Toro. Ben,
Wait,
it's up to you. Okay.
I have a question though.
Oh, let him have it.
Well, I'm just wondering what you guys think. Do you guys think that Ricky can move discs?
I
like
know
in general, or like current.
Well, he can
now?
move discs himself, like on Whatnot and stuff. But, like, do you think he moves the needle for a company? Because I feel like, at least my interpretation of why he left Dynamic Discs is that, like, you know, they try to do all these special releases like the Wysocki Bomb Slammer or the General, or like, you know, his Raptor Eye Felons and stuff like that. And I'm sure they sold to a relative degree, but my understanding of it was like it wasn't worth the money they were paying him. And I feel like, you know, with the Ricky Proto, like, I think those probably sold a little bit, but maybe part of the reason he's not promoting them is they didn't move that well either. Like,
I think the Ricky Pros are gone. Like, I don't even know. I think they sold, right? Like, can you?
Yeah, but like, how much did they actually release?
I don't know. I think Ricky does move. Definitely not as much as like Simon or Macbeth, but I think, you know, comparatively to everyone in the field, he definitely moves
More than
plastic.
like a regular pro.
But it's also like, you got to think like, and this isn't meant to be an offense to Dynamic Discs, but like Discraft and, like, you know, people throw their disc more, or MVP or Innova. So like, that's another thing where it's like probably easier to move certain companies rather than like something like DD, which is a great company. It's just not many people bag them as much as these other companies, in my opinion. Like, you know, the Wysocki Bomb Slammer or the Felon, you know, it's just like that's competing with the Firebird or like the Raptor and stuff like that. So it's like, I think that's another layer where it's like definitely tougher to get that market share.
Yeah, and initially my brain was thinking that, like, yeah, he does move plastic, but yeah, like, you look at the DD situation where it felt like things weren't really being moved that well. And to be clear, like he had some cool releases. Like the Raptor Eye stuff looked like it looked super cool. I never like threw it, but then he like moved over to Discraft, and maybe those are doing well. So like what I'm saying, it's not based off of anything, just how it feels, I guess.
Yeah.
But it seems
Feelings.
like
Yeah.
it seems like it's not really being not that it's not being pushed, but it's like it doesn't feel like it's like hot right now. People are like, yo, I can't wait to get my hands on the Raptor that has Ricky's name on it, which is weird because it's almost like a tale of two modern extremes right now, where it's like he's on one end with DD and then the other end with Discraft. Do you think being on a brand that was somewhere between the two right now, which I guess I don't know really how much in between there is, but do you think he would shine better in an environment like that? Because Discraft is so stocked that someone might spend their money with another player. By the time they see Rick's release, they're like, I don't know. That's like it's just a Raptor with like his name on it.
He'd have to come out
think?
with something new, in my opinion, for it to like benefit him greatly.
I feel like my opinion is that Rick is a very, very talented pro, and like I think he tries to like he obviously has his YouTube and posts on social media a lot, but I feel like no one, or I don't want to assume, but I feel like where he's lacking is like that community that like Simon has stewarded, and like Paul to a different level. Like it just seems like the biggest appeal is he's really, really good at disc golf, you know, like he doesn't have that audience that a Paul or a Simon or an Eagle or like some of those other guys have created. And so like when he went to DD, I feel like they kind of paid him like he was a really, really good pro who also had an audience that would come to DD, but he more so just got the really, really good pro sales, if that makes sense. Like I think he can move discs to a degree, but I think like if DD had signed Simon, who has like this huge fan base, then you know DD might be where MVP is now, if that makes sense. Like I think that what needs to be focused on is those really motivated fan bases that will just ride or die for whatever creator or pro. Like I feel like what Broderick's audience is like all in on Broderick, you know? Mm-hmm. And so when Broderick did the Prodigy stuff, I'm sure Prodigy like saw an uptick, you know, like a genuine like, oh wait, you know, supporting Broderick has, you know, boosted our sales a decent bit, and we're, you know, like I just think that the committed audience is maybe where Rick is lacking a little bit, and not from a lack of trying, you know. It's like it feels maybe like an X factor that just hasn't really hit yet. Like I could see it happening at some point, but I just feel like maybe that's where he's lacking right now. And that's why someone like Simon or Paul, or I'm trying to think of someone else who could like.
Well, that's the thing. Like I can't really think of too many other people right now. I mean, like Casey White is another pro disc golfer that does like a pretty good job with his YouTube channel. But I don't really know if that translates to sales per se. Being like from his local area, it certainly feels like it. Like when he came out with those kind of like, well, yeah, the Skywalkers, you see them kind of everywhere. And then he came out with the sort of like Bruins hockey jerseys. I mean, those were, it seemed like people were very hyped about those. So
I feel like,
you know, hopefully it does. I hope he's, you know, he's putting in all this work. I hope he's getting something out of it.
I unfortunately feel like with some of these pros, I still am like, every pro should make content and leverage and try to get people attached to their personality. Yeah. But I feel like outside of Simon and maybe Paul, a lot of people are just watching the content to see like really good disc golf. And at a certain point I could see it. Like Simon's been making YouTube videos for 10 years. You know, that's part of the reason why his audience is so committed. And so maybe that's what these pros need, is another 5 years of people watching their content consistently to really have those like ride or die audience members. But I feel like where you can maybe gauge the audience of a pro is what their like worst performing video is. Like you go look at like Ricky's channel and you're like, oh my gosh, this video has 60K views. Like he obviously has a strong YouTube audience. But then you look at a different one that has 5K, you know, or I don't know. I haven't been on Ricky's channel recently, but I feel like that's where it's like, if he was averaging every video 20 to 30 or 40 or whatever, then it's like, okay, that's like a real amount of people that are showing up every time, you know? I don't know. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is just me trying to interpret it. It's a hypothesis, and there's no hate against any of these people. Like, everyone's working really hard and trying to figure it out. But I don't know. I'm just trying to, like, understand it. It's really an interesting thing. There's something there. Like, Simon obviously has the X factor that can move the needle for a company, but who else has that? You know, who else?
Yeah. I think it's good to talk about it just openly, even if we are processing it as we, like, words are coming out of our mouth.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. But that's great for a podcast. So, I mean, look at someone like Conor O'Reilly. Not really. Like, he won the
like
Silver
3 years
Series
ago.
over Ricky, which is, like, honestly no small feat. But simultaneously, like, he's not someone that's at the top of the standings modern day. But he seems like he's putting a lot of effort into his content creation, which is cool.
For sure. Yeah.
So I don't know if doing those little things are what are keeping him on the road and relevant, but I hope it's working out for him, because
I was actually talking to Anderson when we were playing the other day, and I was like, how is Connor doing what he's doing? Because I don't know. I haven't checked his finishes, but I haven't seen him in the top 10 in any of these events. But he's at every event. And I feel like for someone to tour consistently right now, especially, I don't even think he has a major manufacturer sponsor.
Nope.
So, like, I'm a little bit like, how's he doing this?
Well, yeah, it is bizarre.
If you're listening,
because
Connor, please tell us how you're doing, man.
Yeah.
No hate to you at all. I respect the grind immensely.
1,000%.
I respect it. But I am a little bit like, how's this working?
Well, I do wonder if there was, again, no offense to these people, but so there was like a bunch of people that went to Lone Star, and then Lone Star, I think, slowly, what it feels like, started stepping away a little bit from disc golf as it's gotten less, I don't want to say less popular, but, you know, it's like the boom is done.
Well, dude, what's crazy? Let me say this real quick. Really quick. No hate to Lone Star, but I was talking to someone recently who was sponsored by Lone Star, and they found out mid-tournament that Lone Star was dropping them. And so round one of the tournament, he was playing with Lone Star, shot like one of the worst ratings of his career, found out in between rounds that he got dropped, and then the next round he went and got his like open bag, like that was under his bed. He shot 100 points better.
That's amazing. I mean, that's just a good story straight up.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So
Sorry,
like a lot of these pros were kind of, it feels like, hung out to dry a little bit, and then you had someone like this past year, like, it was cool that Prodigy was able to pick up some of the pros they did, like AJ and Deanne Carey, but because they were on Lone Star previously. So I wonder why someone like Connor wouldn't have been able to get a contract like similar, especially having, like, I'm sure Silver Series aren't held to like the highest regard, but it's still it's something, right?
Yeah,
like,
he has a win.
Yeah, so maybe he willingly chose to be open bag and saw value in trying that, because you had someone like Austin Turner that was just like, you know, he, like, a little bit of backstory, I guess, for anyone that doesn't know. Austin Turner was like the Discraft guy, like, back in the day. It was like him, Nate Doss, and Michael Johansson. And he was like the kid coming up that everyone's like, yo, he's going to be someone. He's the future face of disc golf. And then I think over time it started to like get to him because he was still like he was a kid pretty much. It got to him a little bit, and I think he stepped away for like a couple of years, and then came back doing some discraft stuff. Went over to DGA for a year, and then that's when he broke his right arm, I think. So on that contract, for half of it, wasn't able to play. So I think it kind of fell through for the next year. So he was like, I'm just going to be open bag and just see what happens. And now he's back on discraft, so like that's all great. But I mean, he had some like pretty dang good finishes in that stretch of just like throwing. I mean, he was like throwing T-bird threes, destroyers. It's just
Wasn't
cool to
he
see
the
like
highest rated non-sponsored player?
Yeah, he was up until this year when he got back on discraft. So
who is it now? I wonder.
That's a good question.
Connor O'Reilly.
No, because I mean they were. I don't know. I think like there were a few, like there's Noah Meinsma who just placed top 10 this. Yeah, like he's another one that used to be on DGA, but
yeah,
I mean,
he was
he's
on
been,
DGA.
He's been unsponsored for the last 2 or 3 years now.
Okay.
Top 10, popping off a top 10 at the Preserve.
That's pretty crazy.
It's pretty cool. So I'm sure it's terrifying to do that and just hoping that everything works out. But sometimes I think that's kind of what it takes to prove to others that they're like, oh, we can't ignore you anymore. You're doing something really good.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, last question before we get back to the thing we originally were doing.
We won't get back to it, but that's okay.
No, I want to finish it.
Okay.
I do want to finish it. Ben, working for Ricky Wysocki now?
Working?
Yeah, you edited for Ricky? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I filmed and edited for Ricky. I don't know if I'm like necessarily like working for him or like what the future holds, but yeah, he just randomly asked me at Beaver State Fling right before he teed off. He's like, "Hey, you want to film my practice round next week?" And I was like, "Sure." So that's yeah, it was pretty cool, pretty fun, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can do it in Des Moines and when I come back on tour.
Yeah. Did he pay you? You don't have to answer that.
Also, I don't know if there's a delay right now.
What did he say?
He asked you if he paid you.
You don't have to answer.
Yeah, which you don't have to answer.
Yes. I mean.
Okay, cool.
I
assumed.
I assumed. Pay me.
Yeah, I assumed.
Yeah,
I was just wondering. I was just wondering.
He wouldn't be like, oh yeah, Ricky. He's a good guy, and he.
Yeah.
And he. Yeah. So, it's been.
It'd be crazy if you
cool.
did it for Ricky and Gannon. That would just be. You become the guy.
Yeah, that's insane. Super
The
cool.
guy.
I mean, starting out with Simon.
I'm not.
Dude, good resume.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be the guy. That's what I'm saying. It's so weird that like, I know I'm out here doing it and it's awesome, and I love it. But like, this is like just like my like hobby for fun. It's not even like my full time thing that I'm like really really passionate about. And it's just like kind of like I'm very blessed, like the opportunities that I've got off of making like recording and editing when like it's like just something I enjoy doing when like the expos obviously is my main full-time thing, my main grind, where it's like I'm not trying to climb the video world ranks or or anything like that. So it's been pretty cool like just Rick to hit me up, be like, so it's been. But that's what I was saying. Like, I think it was the last episode. Like, if you want to do something in disc golf, you just gotta do it. You gotta, or get out here on tour or something like that. Like, I've had crazy opportunities just going for it, and it's been pretty awesome. So, I'm not trying to be the content guy by any means, but it's just how it's played out so far. So it's been awesome.
Well, I'm sure you need to save like a decent amount of money if like we talked about Birdie Productions last week. I'm sure he had to save like a decent amount of money before he just like decided to go full send on that. But what I wanted to ask you was, did you notice a difference between recording like Gannon and recording Rick? Like, are there some noteworthy takeaways that you have, or like anything that you learned doing that?
Yeah, obviously they're different in different ways.
Okay.
Super descriptive.
That's really good.
It's not anything crazy. Like, I'm still like following the disc and zooming in with my camera, so it's not like anything drastically is different. It's pretty much not different at all. It's just like Ricky's videos, he's more descriptive on his practice rounds. I guess the one thing that was different is he would walk and talk, so I'd have to follow in the camera, but literally everything else is just the same. You just point, shoot, and get what's going on. There's nothing like where I had to do something different.
Yeah, you're just kind of taking the formula and applying it to another pro.
Yeah,
Is that
whatever
correct?
you said. Yep, exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. I guess for listeners, if you hear long
hate the
pauses,
Wi-Fi so
occasionally
bad.
I think Ben, his Wi-Fi is cutting out, but we're doing the best that we can. All right.
All right. I actually thought of one more thing, and then I'll shut up forever.
Please don't shut up forever.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but G-Star Design
Mm-hmm.
on his Instagram posted his top 5 coolest disc golfers. Did you see this, Sajko?
Yeah, I did. I did briefly see this.
Yeah. And so I think it was AB at the 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the 2 it was it Austin Turner? Do you remember?
I don't remember the order. I just remember the 5 that were present.
Here, will you say them real quick, and then I'll say the order?
Yeah, so it was AB, Austin Turner. It was not
Ezra.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Ezra Robinson, Ezra
And then
Ederhold,
Ederhold. Yeah.
and then
Okay.
Who's the
I got the
final one?
order.
Okay,
Silas.
Silas. Yes.
So at the 1, it's Anthony Barella. I feel like that's just undisputed. Like, I don't think anyone can really argue that, in my opinion.
I mean, he's moving plastic off of pure stees. I mean, it's
and,
insane.
And his jersey sales and hat sales and just
Yeah, like that is
everyone loves him.
Yeah, it's translating to everything that he's selling. Where they're like, it's cool, everything is cool. I want to be cool.
Yeah, honestly, that's a aspect I feel like we could have touched on earlier. I feel like AB is someone that can move the needle for a company. Like if he goes to DD or something, like I think he could have that Simon effect. But he's done it in a very different way.
Yeah, he's done it over the
is-
long term, which I guess
Yeah,
it's
just
not
being
like,
super
it's not
cool.
like Rick has, but Rick is not. It's so funny because Rick is like a culmination of multiple things that feel like they don't go together, but he somehow brings them together. Where like
Yeah.
AD is cool, but Rick is like he's a champion. You know, like he's done
Yeah.
all of these incredible things. With all due respect to Rick, he's also kind of like a dork a little bit, and I say that endearingly. I know
Yeah.
he back in the day used to be super awkward, and I think he still
Plaid
is a little bit, but
shorts.
he's come such a long way from how he used to interact with people and the camera. Like if you watch like his modern practice rounds, or even when he's talking, like say he shot a good round and they're interviewing him, I mean he goes, and I feel like I get like good insight from what he's talking about. But
Totally.
yeah, it's
Yeah, so
I don't know.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. But okay, so AB at the 1, Ezra Ederhold at the 2, Austin Turner at the 3, Ezra Robinson at the 4, and Silas Schultz at the 5. Here's my
That's
opinion.
That's not
Here's
right.
here's my opinion. I think AB at the 1 is just undisputed.
Absolutely.
I think at the 2, I would put Silas or Austin Turner.
Yeah,
Like I think
completely.
I feel like I think I'd put Austin Turner at the 2. I think I'd put Silas at the 3. I think I'd put Ederhold at the 4.
Yes, Ederhold needs to be in there. Ezra,
And then
great
and then
guy,
I-
I'm sure. I don't feel like it makes sense that he's in the top 5.
Robinson.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Luke Humphreys at the 5.
dude.
Luke Humphreys was an honorable mention.
Yo,
I feel
anyone
like
that's
he's at
wearing
the 5.
high top like Nikes, just like in his run up, automatically number 5 spot.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I think I commented on it and I said something like Silas at the 5 is diabolical. And he said something like, I get this take to explain the rankings. It's based on interaction where someone says disc golf is lame. You then pull out your phone and show a photo or clip of the player throwing to change their mind. And
I don't feel like
I
that helps
get-
the argument.
I had the same thought. I was like, dude, if you watch a video of Silas throwing and hear that snap, especially if it's a video Silas edited himself, he might be at the 1. Like,
well, like, no, it can't be. Yeah, it can't be. I don't think so.
It wouldn't be over AB, but like, I just like, yeah, like also with no hate to Ezra Robinson, but his form is a little bit interesting to me as well. Like if I'm showing a video, I would rather show Silas's form than Ezra Robinson's form.
Yeah, something a little bit more, we'll call it like traditional, like what is taught form, as opposed to like Ezra Robinson puts a move on frisbees.
For sure.
Let's be clear. But it's obviously not the like what is typical. And of course disc golf doesn't need to be that, but when we're talking about what is cool, obviously everyone's trying to achieve like crispy form, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And it is now that we talk about this, it seems like what we kind of deemed as like the top 3, like AB, Austin, Silas, whoever is 2 and 3, like take those respective spots. They're all individuals that like, so obviously Silas is like doing his own edits, which are super cool. And the other 2 have outlets that are also doing editing for them, not for everything, but for like a lot of things. Do you think that plays into a lot of that, where like Austin is getting help from, I mean, what is essentially like me and like what Another Round's doing, and AB with like cool ledgestone edits and stuff like that?
I think that helps, but I would almost say that it's more of a byproduct of their coolness.
Oh, like, you think what they were doing, and then we kind of like just...
I think...
I'm not saying that we're the reason, obviously, right? Like that's not... obviously not at all. It's just more so like I'm sure that is a factor that definitely helps them get ahead of other people that we don't even think about. I'm sure there's other people that I'm like, oh, how did I not even think of blank? But maybe they're just like not in the spotlight as much, or have like as good of editing or something.
I think I agree, but I also think like because Silas, AB, and Austin Turner sorry, I think because they're like quote unquote cool, either people were like, make content, or we want to see more of you, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then they started doing that, and then it was just like, oh, this is helpful in every way. Like, I'm just kind of
like the rich get richer sort of deal, right?
Yeah, like that's my interpretation of it. And then also, I would agree. Like maybe because they make it, people are like, oh, they are cool.
Yeah, they stay in the public eye, I think, more than someone that, it's really cool that everyone has a phone, but to like record everything in the modern day, but not everyone necessarily knows, or like they're pro disc golfers, so like I get it. They don't need to know how to make everything look as cool as they possibly can, or however we want to call it, but every little bit helps, man.
For sure. Okay. T.
We're back. We're 49 and a half minutes in. T, we had Toro. Ben is currently frozen. I don't know if he can actually hear us.
I can
so we might go back.
Can hear you.
Oh, he can hear. Ben, do you have a disc that starts with a U that isn't Innova?
You.
Dude, I got one in mind.
Ursus.
Ooh. Isn't that... I heard that brand is since gone, which is kind of sad.
What brand?
Ursus is the West Side.
Terminal Velocity? Is that what the brand was? They had the Ursus, and they had some
Ursa,
flippy fairway drivers.
Yes, they had an Ursa. But I think Ursus is.
You're thinking of Tersa.
Isn't that
Tersus?
No, that's the West Side.
Yeah,
that's the West Side.
Yeah, Ursa is Terminal Velocity. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay.
What were you thinking of, Sajko?
No, I think Ursus is Terminal Velocity, right? I think they...
No, I meant, what was... You were saying you had a U mold.
Undertaker.
Oh, gosh. How could we not think of that?
Do you guys like that disc? Because I love it. On the In the Bag podcast, they hate it.
What?
They despise it. And I think it comes from... It tends to be a little bit more stable than the flight numbers would indicate. Because I think there was a point in time when... Discraft pros would be like, this is a really good disc for beginners, and they go to throw it and they're like, dude, especially when you're beginning, I'm sure it's essentially like a Raptor.
Interesting. Every time I've thrown the Undertaker,
Ben, have you thrown one? Okay.
Very intriguing.
Okay. Yes, Undertaker V. Are we back to Josh?
I thought it was you.
Okay, it's
Weren't
me.
we going Ben,
Yeah.
you, me?
That makes sense. Dude, I have
I
like
have
the
one.
most random discs on the brand today. The Vila, the Calvin Heimberg disc that I don't think he throws, but is essentially trying to be like his Eagles, but with a adjacent brand.
I was thinking Vulture.
Dude, Vulture's sick. That is such a good disc. Cool.
So V
W.
W. W's in the chat.
Whale.
Chat. What disc
The whale?
starts with W?
Actually, like
Whale
the
is
whale.
good. I've never thrown the whale.
It's nice. Is there a putting putter that you strongly dislike?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I know.
Dagger?
I know. Pop.
Maybe the dagger.
Yeah, because I know some people are like very opinionated when it comes to something like that. But they're like, beads? Absolutely not, dude. If a bead touches my hand, I'll vomit.
I don't
or
like
it's like,
beads.
or like super deep putters. Like I know some people are like very opinionated about that kind of thing. So I figured I'd throw it out there.
I am not. I like whale. I'll go with whale. Thank you, Ben.
Safe
for your
answer.
Submission. Yeah.
Ben, I think there's one disc that pops into my head for X.
Z. Zephyr for me.
Oh, he's going ahead to Z. Got it. He's going Zephyr.
Skipping right ahead.
What was your disc that popped in your head?
For X, the only one I can think of for X, and it breaks the rule that we can't go back to back of
Oh wait,
manufacturers,
we're
but
going
who
to
cares?
X. Well, why did I just go
That's
to
fine.
Z? I'm so confused.
Dude, you're good. I mean, we're doing the best we can right now. X, the only thing I can think of is the X Cal. From
Well, there's
Innova.
also the XL from Discraft.
Oh, dude,
And then
you're my
if
hero.
you want to break the
Ben
letter,
leaves again.
yeah. If you want to break the letter, there's the extraterrestrial.
I mean,
I feel like
Yeah,
you could
good
almost
enough.
count that.
good enough.
Yeah.
Why? The final one that we have to go with, dude, the Yeet. It has to be.
Yes, for sure has to be.
Yes, yeet.
Dude, that's a full alphabet, and we even came up with more than we needed, which
I can't believe
is
I
kind of
went
easy
straight
aside
to
from like a couple
Z.
letters because there's just so many discs at this point in time that it's hard to keep up almost.
Yeah. We should make some, and by we, it would probably be you, Sajko, so I don't want to give you extra work if you don't want to do it, but it would be cool to do a Insta post that has our A to Z list, and then it says something like, what would you come up with or something.
I like it.
I don't know. Don't do it if it's way too much work, but it could be cool to do something.
No,
on
I
our
like
list.
it. I mean, today, next 2 days, dude, I can't dedicate to that, but I'm sure there may be a time where I'm like, you know what? I got time.
Yeah. I don't think
We'll
we
see.
talked about this because this was last week, but I asked Sajko to make me a graphic for my ratings update, and he did it, and it's fire, guys. If you want to see it, go to my Instagram or his. We collabed. And,
Yeah, he sent it. He sent me a couple photos, and I was like, okay, I'll try to come up with something. So I essentially just used
He
the
cooked.
Microsoft Paint thing that I had done for mine, just to like go for it. And yeah, it came out pretty good. I have a couple other cool ones that I've been messing around with as well. I say messing around. I haven't done them yet. Why? Anyways, sorry for listeners. Ben keeps joining and exiting the podcast, so it is kind of distracting.
Yeah.
I have like a few other ideas about just like I just want to put like Pokemon in the background of some photos and like do some random edits, man, and just see if they like come out cool.
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of
Hey.
sick, like have an update like that where you have like a giant Charizard behind you, and it's just
Yeah.
like all set up with like typical Pokemon like Nintendo color text at the bottom there, and I think it would come out.
No,
pretty cool.
the next time I drop, I need you to do a Pokemon edit for me where a Charizard uses some attack and I take whatever negative
Yes,
points I get and
dude,
I
that's
like
genius.
you like put me on fire or like make me red so it looks
or like a
it's
Minecraft edit where it's like
yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
It
man.
shows, like,
That's what I
negative.
mean. Just so many
Yeah.
cool things that I would love to come up with any reason to
Dude,
make
if
them.
if you're down and want to
You
help
drop
a
your
boy
rating
out,
on purpose.
Yeah. There we go.
Do
I
it,
kind
you
of think
won't.
it'll drop next month, so it could be the perfect time to try something out like that.
That's sick. All right, we're getting towards the end here. I don't know if we want to wrap up or if we want to try to dive into any other topics because I do have a couple topics here that they could be entire episodes. I honestly feel like, but maybe we can touch
save
on
it.
them and then maybe continue them next week. What do you guys think?
I don't know if Ben can respond.
I don't know if Ben can respond either. So I'm just talking to Josh and I guess the listeners.
All right, let's do a teaser. What are we going to talk about next week?
Okay. I'm just curious how everyone's content is kind of doing, and if things kind of feel normal, or maybe they're doing better than usual, or maybe they're doing worse than usual. Just kind of get a feel for where the disc golf content creation space is at for everyone, and how they've been feeling, or things they've noticed.
Yeah, I have some theories in regards to that, but we can talk about it next week for sure.
Yeah, I think that could
And I'm
potentially
back.
be a whole podcast. He's back. Yes.
He's back. Welcome back.
Bro, this is why.
All right. Well,
it stinks. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
all good, man. I guess for listeners, it's Thursday today. Typically record on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. These guys were very nice and were able to make Thursday morning work. Just because the last 2 days for me with everything that's going on has been, my entire days are essentially written out for me, and then I don't have time to do anything. So today worked out perfect. Had the day off. So
He's on.
We got it out. we got it out.
Yo.
Okay,
We
I guess
did it.
we'll just wrap it up then.
And
if we're
finally, it's working now. I can see you guys clearly.
just in time.
Yep.
Just in time.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for everyone that listened and checked out the Funsie Pod this week. We appreciate everyone that takes the time. There's a lot of podcasts, and you choose to listen to ours, and it means a lot. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Until
Truly.
next week, Josh
Thank
will
you,
be
Jefferson.
in Des Moines. Be getting
In
ready
Des
for Des Moines.
Yeah.
We'll be very excited to talk about that. So yeah, until next week. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See y'all.
Funsie.